Hello, good morning. This is Nas from NB Network Lessons. Hope everyone's doing okay and in high spirits. Date today is November 8th, 2024. And today I am going to introduce you with quadratic equation formula. So basically, this right here is the format for quadratic equation. Ax squared plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b, c are constants, right? And these constants are where a cannot be 0. Okay, a cannot be equal to 0, this right here. Okay, and then this x is basically the unknown which we have to find out. Okay, now in the past, if you've been following me, I've been solving this quadratic equation using the big X technique to find the factors. Okay. But there are certain situations where you're not able to find out factors using big X technique. For example, there is one quadratic equation which I can write down on the board: x squared plus x minus 1 is equal to 0. You cannot find factors using big X technique or any other technique, because if you recall, in big X technique, what we do is that we have a times c and b. A times c, the coefficient associated with a is 1. All right, coefficient associated with constant is 1, so this becomes minus 1, and coefficient associated with just b is 1. Now you got to find two numbers. If you multiply those two numbers, you get minus 1. If you add them, you get 1. Can you think of any number which you can use? I mean, 2 times 1 will basically, you can use 2 and 1, to get minus 1. But, if you add them, there is no way that you can get 1. So in that scenario, you are not able to use the big X technique or the traditional method for finding the factors. So then what we do is that we use quadratic formula, which is right here, my friends. And you have to memorize that, okay? Because you're going to use that. You're going to use that in your exams, in your tests. So this is the formula: x is equal to minus b. B is the coefficient associated with linear x, plus or minus under the root b square. Again, b is the coefficient associated with x, linear x, minus 4 times a, which is the coefficient associated with x square, times c, which is the constant. So this is basically introduction to quadratic equation formula. Now, why do we use quadratic formula? I don't know. When I was going to school, my professor just showed me everything on the board, but they never explained the real use, the practical use in the real world. So I'm going to try to see if I can explain you that. So one use of quadratic equation formula is that you can do calculations for both stationary and moving objects. If you draw the graph for a quadratic equation, in most scenarios, all right, in the most scenarios, your shape is kind of like parabola shape. Okay, you're going to have a parabola shape. All right, so the advantage of quadratic equation is that you can find the position of object while it's moving. Let's say this is an object right here, right? This is an object, it's moving, 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 right? You can find the peak, where the highest peak where the object goes. Then you can find the position of this object at this position right here. So that is the advantage, that is the beauty of quadratic equation formula, is that you can find the position of an object even if it's stationary or it's moving, you can also find the peak. All right. Uh, in other words, you can find basically the distance at certain positions, at any positions, given position. Real uses of this are in astrology, engineering, science. You can do calculation in sports also. You can also use these equations to calculate profit and loss and so forth. So I just kind of wanted to introduce you with quadratic equation formula. In my upcoming sessions, I'm going to solve a lot of quadratic equations to make you master so that you walk into the test room with confidence and ace in your exam. Thank you so much for watching. Do me a favor, share this as much as you can, and go ahead and give me a like if you really liked it. Thank you.